Hey guys, welcome again to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing a small review of yesterday's trade. That's Monday, 1st of September. I couldn't trade this day because I was busy, and well, I'm just going to be going over price action of that's 1st of September, and we're going to be seeing how we probably could have gotten on side with whatever moves happened. So whenever I get into the charts, I start on the daily time frame. Really helps with perspective. I would use the weekly time frame too, but today I don't really need to use it. So the first thing that we notice is that price, if we came in at 9 a.m. Eastern, 9 a.m. Eastern time, the first thing that we'd notice is that price had actually reached into this previous daily low, and checking our correlated assets, we can see that this is the 4-hour time frame. Let me just change it quickly. We can see that on the correlated assets, that's YM, we can see YM was showing a lot of strength at the open, and NQ wasn't showing that degree of strength. Even the previous candle says a whole lot about NQ's weakness versus YM's strength lately. Now, given that has happened, we want to know that, or we'd like to see a strength switch, but we get into that later on. So hopping down to the 4-hour time frame, excuse me. Sorry about this. Let's scroll. All right, hopping down to the 4-hour time frame, we can see that there's this movement upwards into this 4-hour gap. As you can see, price actually opens up from the daily opens up, takes this liquidity in this internal liquidity, and begins to head straight to the external liquidity. And that's very iconic, but we could not have actually taken advantage of this move because we don't trade London session, we trade New York. If we did trade London session, this would have been beautiful because this was towards the end of Asia, and then there was even SMT between some highs on the 3-minute. I did check it. I might show you if there's time. And before we took this low and began to head for back to the daily open and probably any other liquidity that was formed during the London session. So as you can see on the 4-hour time frame, we had this after this SMT with NQ on the daily. We had another SMT with a 6 o'clock candle. That's 2 o'clock and 6 o'clock candle. Now on the 4-hour time frame on YM, you can show where that SMT originated from. You can see this is the 2 o'clock and this is the 6 o'clock candle. Now I wish I could take away this black candle for you, but I don't have a replay right now. So essentially we can see that we're basing our bias for bullish on 3 different things. First of all, we've taken the previous daily low. That's a key level, and there was SMT at that key level. The second thing is that is a London reversal profile, meaning that we're most likely going to have a New York continuation. London did expand a considerable amount, and according to what I say, according to the people I learned how to trade from, I've learned that you shouldn't really be trading when London shows this very large move. I think, how many points is this? This is almost 200 points. Almost. Yeah, if not 300. But yeah, it was a very large move during London, and we really don't want to be trading New York when London makes such a large move. Asia made a large move, London makes this large move. You don't want to be trading during this time, and there is no news to actually propel price to any relevant points like this protected swing that was formed it will probably remain protected because it just recently reached into a 4 hour gap before heading lower. So the best we could do was probably the daily open, and we did cross above that. But the SMT that was formed here between 2 o'clock and 6 o'clock actually supported the 4 hour profile of the 6 a.m. reversal, and that could have gotten you just a few points, and but you would have had to be like really careful. Now from the SMT that was formed, we now know that YM is giving away its strength to NQ, and that gives us a very good idea of where we should be focusing our strengths. So I could use the 1 hour, but I like to hop down to the 30 minutes because I can see where the 9:30 open is. So we can show exactly what happens at 9:30, and I can explain. All right, let's just move forward here. There we go. All right, so you can see here we had this first SMT, and then we had the strength switch. I really love when this sort of thing happens because it's immediately tipping its hand to you that price has changed the momentum is probably going to change. One asset is going to give strength to the other asset, and that just gives you an idea of what asset to trade. So right now we're going to be trading the stronger asset. So pulling, so I'm just going to mark out 930 right there. Yeah, there we go. All right, so that's 9:30 open. So as you can see, 9:30 actually reaches into this swing point, takes out this liquidity, but doesn't take out the 2 o'clock liquidity. Now this is amazing. Like I said before, when something like this happens, it's immediately tipping its hand to you that the strength has switched. So when the 9:30 opens up like this and closes above this dark candle, you could wait for the close if you wanted to trade the 10 a.m. continuation, and that would have been a very beautiful trade actually. But if you could not have waited, you could actually have entered before then, because I do sometimes set a rule for myself that if the 9:30 open does not present any other blocks that I can enter on with a reasonable risk, I will wait till 10. But fortunately for us, if we hop down to the 3 minutes, before then, let me just quickly show you YM on the 30-minute chart. You will see, and I think it will become a little clear to you what I'm saying. Try not to spend too much of time. This video is already 8 minutes long. All right, there we go. So yeah, this is 9:30. So you can see this is 2 a.m. low. We actually swept it before 9:30, but it was during the 6 a.m. candle. So as you can see, YM started to weaken out, and NQ immediately took over that strength. I'm pretty sure I know somebody that would have traded to this high, but yeah, let's just focus on NQ. All right, so from there we hop down to the 3-minute time frame. I'm just going to reset that. I couldn't. All right, so hopping down to the 3-minute time frame, you can see the 9:30 open right here, and it is a single down close candle. That's amazing because we have a close above, and then we formed another block. Now we could take this entry, but it wouldn't make sense because the risk would just be too much, and we're just targeting these highs. Now we would actually wait for a propulsion block, which is essentially an order block that is formed from an order block. So that's when price reaches into an order block, which is a series of opposing candles that have been closed over. When another set of opposing candles reaches into that order block and another set closes over it, we can call that a propulsion block, and that is one of the most powerful or more powerful order blocks. So you would have set your limit here. targets here and your stop loss right on this low or below this fair value gap if you weren't comfortable, and you still get a decent risk to reward ratio. I will say that it's very likely that you might have gotten stopped out if you stayed with this, because most people after 50% of TP, they would actually set break even, and this low would have taken you out very quickly. But I personally, I don't actually take break evens. I believe if your trade is going to be invalidated, you just, as far as you set your risk okay, you should be good to go. All right, so that's it. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe. Share the video to anybody that you know would actually benefit from watching a recap of today, and stay cheesed up.